reflections by Dr. Wu and Sandy Wu on their recent trip to mainland China. We will also have some prognostications and predictions on this year of the horse from Dr. Wu. He's known for his remarkably accurate predictions, and so we'll be fortunate to see what's going to happen to us in the next year. Finally, we will have, of course, the traditional martial arts demonstration, and we're all looking forward to that. Those of you who have been here before know this is something wonderful to look forward to. We have a great amount of talent in the demonstrations and just seeing that. So, for those of you who are members, I'm glad to see that most of you are here. For those of you who are not members, Chinese Culture Club is an affiliate of the OSU Alumni Association. That does not mean, however, that you need to be an alumni of the Ohio State University. Anyone can join the club. The whole purpose is to provide opportunities for people who would like to know more about a variety of aspects of Chinese culture. That could be art, philosophy, food, which is, of course, one of the most popular interests, and also martial arts. We sponsor a variety of programs throughout the year, particularly responding to identify requests from people in the community and our own membership. We always have a Chinese culture fair, which is sort of a folk festival kind of thing, which we have in the summer. This year it will be in, someone have a date? Secretary? July. Send you a flyer. It will be well publicized. It will be at the First Unitarian Universalist Church. So you can come out and see a variety of aspects of Chinese culture at that time. We also have an August Moon Festival and picnic, and sometimes there's a winery. We try to have special interest groups, which will meet according to the numbers involved, maybe half a dozen people to discuss acupuncture, acupressure, herbal healing, various types of martial arts, and so forth. And people who are interested in those kinds of things get together on an ad hoc basis to explore these for as long as they choose to do that. Any of you who are interested in becoming members can let us know, and we'll be glad to send you more information or give us a call. My name is Sherry Ratliff. I'm president of the club for this year, outgoing. Members, we will be having an election dinner within the next few weeks, and so be alert for announcements of that occasion. We will be having a dinner to elect new officers. Also be thinking of nominations which you might want to enter for on the slate. I think that's really all of the details here.
Okay. Not much waiting for the food.
Bang on your table.
While you're waiting for the food, because we want to do the prediction first, so make sure you identify your own animal, the year of the animal. Now let me start from the year of horse. There's 5 types of horses. (1918) is the earth horse. 1930 is the metal horse. 1942 is the water horse. 1954 is wood horse. 1966 is the fire horse. 1978 is earth horse. I don't think anybody bought these. Now, number 2 is the lamb or oak. 1919 is the earth goat. 1931 is the metal goat. 43 is the water goat. 55 is wood goat. 67 is fire goat. Now make sure you understand your element, otherwise you're talking to people. 1979 is earth goat. Now the monkey. 1920 is metal monkey. 32 water monkey. 44 wood. 56 fire. 68 earth. 80 metal. chicken or rooster. 1921, metal, rooster. 33, water. 45, wood. 57, fire. 69, earth. 81, metal. Dog, the year of the dog. 1922, water, dog. 34, wood, dog. 46, fire. 58, earth. 70, metal. 82, water. Now the year of the pig. 1911 is the metal pig. 23, water. 35, wood. 47, fire. 59, earth. 71, metal. 83, water. The rat or rodent. 1912, water, rat. 24, wood. 36, fire. 48, earth. 60, metal. 72, water. 84, wood. The cow or buffalo. 1913, water, buffalo. 45, wood. 37, fire. 49, earth. 61, metal. 73, water. 85, wood. Tiger. 1914, wood. 26, fire. 38, earth. 50, metal. 62, water. 74, wood. 86, fire. Now, turtle. The year of the turtle. 1915, wood. Wood turtle. 27, fire. 39, earth. 51, metal. 63, water. 75, wood. 87, fire. The dragon. 1916, fire. 28, earth. 40, metal. 52, water. 64, wood. 76, fire. 88, earth. The snake. Here the snake, 1917, fire. 29, earth. 41, metal. 53, water. 65, wood. 77, fire. 89, earth. Now that's all represent. Anybody agree? Now since the food is not public, might as well talk about this. To the 1991, February 14th, this period of time for the year of the horse. January 27, 1990 to February 14th, 1991, that period of time for the year of the horse. Now this curve represents a general tendency. You know, we have two very good peaks. One very bad, fall down. This one going in 1991. So in other words, read it carefully. If you want to read, because I know a lot of people phone, they just come here, this meeting, want to listen to this. For the last several years, they make a lot of money because they stock market. Especially in December, we predict in February, if you get dinner, and October and November, if you remember, 2001. We already predict in February. Now that means the first month December, and January. Now the first segment here is an American calendar, February, March. See, actually, the right date is January 27th to February 24th is number 2. So the second one, February 25th to March 26th. The number 3 is March 27th to April 24th. Number 4 here is April 25th to May 23rd. Number 5, May 24th, June 22nd. Number 6, June 23rd to July 21st. And number 7, July 22nd to August 19th. And the number 8, August 20th to September 18th. Number 9 is September 19th to October 17th. Number 10 is October 18th to November 16th. Number 11 is November 17th to December 16th. Number 12 is December 17th to January 15th, 1991. The 13, now why I call 13 months? Because the Chinese calendar is a leap year, 1 month more. So January 16th to February 14th. Now that means probably March going up. April and 5th. Top now. A, B, C, D, E. That's best. Second best. Average. C is average. Not so good. Worst. And May is not 1, 2, 3, 4. See? Now this means is April 25th to May 23rd is the next. So if you buy stock market now, you sell at that time. And then come down to number 6, everybody remember, is very bad. That means May 24 to June 26 come down. Is very bad. Now, this based on this man from Hong Kong. He was very active in 1987. Prediction stock market and some other things, gold market and silver and so on. According to what he predicted, American and Japan stock market or money problem or business problem. And also mainland China also have problem. Hope not. That's what he thinks. You have to check some of the time. So in other words, from X-ray, these 3 months. See when you come to this right angle, beginning of April 25th all the way to July 21st. That's 2 months. April 25th, July 21, that's 2 months. Bad. So called bad does not mean only including yourself. Because later on you go into different kind of animal. Everybody has a 2-foot curve. So, but then you see, you do have a very good Thanksgiving. But I'm not so sure about your Christmas. So you have 2 peaks, May and November. But you do have 2 lower points, June and January next year. But once you come down the tendency like that, then you have to be careful. Now it could refer to your health, could refer to your family, could refer to your marriage, could refer to your business, could refer to your accident or whatever. Property, too. All this kind of thing you have to so bad does not mean only American government, including yourself. These are general tendencies. Okay, so these are the copy. Now, we start the horse. We start the horse because he's gear the horse. Now, the year horse are supposed to be, just imagine the horse. It's a sport. You people race horse. So according to prediction, this year horse, somebody may break the record of effective or sport event, or good sport year. And horse like freedom, running around all the wilderness. So this year for everybody, you feel free. But when you feel free and you do something, be careful. And horse also means we talk about horse set, common set. That means this year everybody become very alert. Because the last several years maybe don't go, oh, I'm going to do something this year. Everybody planning, common set, horse set. So this year seems to be everybody watch carefully, do think carefully. It's good. But how are you to prevent based on this curve? And later on you predict your own curve. So these are important things. The horse also very loyal and faithful. So this year seems to be you are dealing with people and other people dealing with you have good relations. But important is that because the horse runs very fast, it's going to be very fast pace. You have to really catch up, otherwise the opportunity might slip away from your fingertips. At the same time, if you are not careful, little bit absent-minded, or carelessness, or daydreaming, and you might get into a trap, and you did not even know how to prevent. You took for granted, oh, this month very good, and you go down there, you don't even prepare, you might get a big loss, maybe sickness, or that's a problem, or whatever. So be careful, these are very fast-paced horse here. And you have to be very catch up, alert on the ball, is what we call. Now, the horse, the metal horse, with the children, is good luck. In general, the horse year, a good year. Only 3 animals not very good. The monkey, the rat, and the dragon. But don't worry, because it depends on what kind of dragon, what kind of rat. See, some of them is not too bad. The metal horse, because the metal horse is exactly the same. See, this is super metal, and horse is a metal, is what we call the heaven energy. The horse is the earth energy. Chinese calendar is based on the heaven energy, earth energy. So, this person born for metal horse is exactly the heaven energy and earth, exactly the same year, like this year, so it's good year. But have to be get hold of the opportunity. Do not let good opportunity slip away from your fingertip. The earth horse, also good, especially 1978, good year. But the older people, 1918, they're the health. Well, this way you get old. The fire horse. Now, this year is 1966 and 1906. This year, better than last year. But still have to be careful. Okay? And the old 1906, the older people have to be careful of health. The wood horse, 1954 and 1894, just not that. Where your good luck, but inside the good luck is that means like the yin and yang symbol. Why it is a circle? Why the black part, the yin part have a white dot? Why the yang part, the white part have a black dot? Now that symbol is the laws of nature. That means the black part, the yin part have a white dot. Means in our nature there's no such thing for pure. Always some mixture. Just I'm male. I do have some female hormone, and the women they do have some male lay hormone. In other words, this year, even a good year for the 5 horse, but inside you have certain amount of get up. So be careful. The up and down curve is very frequent. The wood horse, again, you have to be careful. Still good year. So the horse is no problem. Don't worry about it. The water horse, you have to work more hard. It's still good year. Still, when you really make a good deal, then they don't keep on coming, then you might get lost. So the curve is almost the same curve. See, you got a horse curve, the same curve as this curve. If you're a horse, then you follow this curve. Okay? Now, the second animal is the goat or the lamb. They're also good year, but a lot of fluctuation and easy to get sick. Listen, the goat and lamb have a tendency to get sick this year. And also tends to have active debate, not agree with each other. Okay, that kind of problem. The earth horse, average. Only the health, not so good. The 5 horse, work very hard and sweating, then you get good luck. But cannot just sit there and wait for the good luck. But the 5 horse, evidently, is the fire. Well, you see the metal year of this year, you have fire now. Fire does not mean you melt the metal. See, the 5 elements you can produce in each other or destroy each other. For example, water produces wood. Wood produces fire. Fire produces earth. Earth produces metal. Metal produces water. Now, this is a producing cycle. But it also can destroy. Water extinguishes fire. See, earth absorbs water. And wood attack the earth. Like the wood go into the earth, remove the water and elements and fertilizer away from the earth. Therefore, wood being over earth. So the metal cut the wood. See, the fire melt the metal. So you see, you have 2 cycles. So this fire go, see, this yin fire against the yang fire. When the yin and yang have attraction, same yang, same yin, they have repel. So this good year, but have to work harder because the yin fire going to make the metal into good furniture or a good tool. So you need the fire. Not that the fire always bad for the metal. Sometimes yin and yang, they are good for the metal. Okay? So the wood goat are very excellent here. Good health too. The water goat, your career will be very excellent this year. And but again, you see, don't overdo it that because you're good luck. If you overdo it, you might get jet. And also, when you work so hard, be careful with your health. Don't get too tired, exhausted. And the metal, also good luck. You should expand this year. Okay? But your health also, you see the horse, the goat, because good luck, then everybody will get more and more, and then you do not have enough sleep and so forth. Food you not eat, then you get sick. Okay? So the 5th month, I pick same. The November pick almost the same. Except the June, see, come down a little higher, not so bad. But the rest about the same as the horse. Now, we go to another monkey now. I'm sorry to tell you the monkey is not very good. A lot of resistance, a lot of obstacles, a lot of fluctuation and changes you cannot catch up. So if you're careful, very handle the thing carefully and thoughtful and plan ahead, then you're all right. The metal monkey. See, not good year. But the health problem, the metal, the earth, monkey, your financial difficulty, the problem, and also this get mad. And your job, maybe your career, a lot of resistance or moving back. The fire, monkey. The first half year is a lot of fluctuation, but the second half year is better. And the health, the whole year, you may get the flu or all kinds of problems. The wood monkey, and consider now this is a wood monkey. The only monkey is better than this. All the monkeys is better, but does not mean it's better. It's better than the whole, still better, only better than the other monkey. See? But if you are married, be careful, or girlfriend, boyfriend, you have a lot of opportunity to argue, don't agree, or fight. The water monkey, also a lot of changes. And you have to budget very carefully, otherwise you financial difficulty. Okay? Now, then another animal is the rooster or chicken. Let's put here. Good month more than bad month. Now, you cannot expect every month is good or every month bad. See, if the 12 months, you have a little bit more than 6 months or 7 months. Or even you have only 5 months good month, 7 months not good, but the 5 months are very high. So you come up with very high, you still consider good year. So make sure you understand the concept of good and bad. Again, in June, again it's go down. See? And November and May is same peak for the horse peak. Now, the metal rooster. Good luck, except exhausted. You might go too much. And better, according to this book said, you better get doctor to check your health. And the earth rooster. Everything is okay, except your wishy-washy. So you make sure you make a decision quickly. Because it's a fast thing here. If you use everything wishy-washy, then you might lose a lot of good opportunity. And your health, you have to be careful. The fire rooster is good. The older people, which 1897, make you get sick. Now the good thing of the fire rooster, this year you meet some very helpful people to help you out. Maybe pull you up, maybe supporting you, you will find these people helping you. Now, the wood rooster, financial career, everything in good shape. Only human relationships maybe have something to do with it. When you're in good shape, you expend so far, and maybe you're happiness. Water rooster is good for you this year to go abroad, take tours, take trips. I suggest you go to China, not that because I'm a Chinese, but it is worthwhile. Later on when you talk about the trip that you get to stay. So now, let's check another animal. Why we put on your table and we shoot the fish. Now another dog. It's half and half. Good luck, bad luck fluctuate. But if you are careful and do it faster, then you see a good year. Now, the only thing, the last part, the curve. See, the curve little bit different now. The dog, the curve different. The peak, the first peak come early. It's between March and May. Never April come, the other ones are May. This April come And then the other one is October instead of November. October comes the second week for the dog. And then the curve much more round curve. It's slower, going up slower, coming down slower. So these are the things. But again, December and January of next year still go back, go down. So I'm sorry to tell you all Christmas, try to prepare. Now, the water dog is a fluctuating. But still, if 1922, if you're still in school, you're going to get very good grade. But don't work too hard. 1970, the metal dog, all good luck. Only the last part of the year, curve will down. And men and women have more argument. The earth dog, again, is good luck. Okay, but be careful to make friends. This year you might get trouble from your friend. Or you co-sign something and you have to pay for it. Fire dog. Now, whether you are your own business or work for a company, you good luck. Okay, so again, it's good. A wood dog, the only thing is a little bit not so good as the other dog. Only wood dog, 1934. 5 dog, a wood dog is worse than the other 4 dogs. So be careful. Now, and after dog, there's a pig. The pig is good luck. I do not understand. Always pig, always good luck. Good more than bad money. But one thing, even the good luck, but June, very bad. And October, very good. But the first several months, from now on to May, is not that good. So the pig completely have different curve. The other one, the other several animals, you go up until April. But now this one going down. All the way down to June, then coming up until October. So make sure that you understand this. The pig even have a good luck, but from now on it's going down. And after June, and come up. That same thing. December and January come down again. Now the water pig, more sickness, good luck, but more sickness. And be careful not to fall down and break your arm, break your leg. Metal. If you're a student or you're learning something, it's a good year for you to learn something or develop something. Pick, exhausted, and easily get into trouble. So you don't get into the illegal power, the law power. Fire pig, you may have to change job. Fire pig, you might have to change job. Wood pig, good money, good career, but so busy sometimes that not only you get sick, sometimes so busy you don't even know what you're doing. You do not even know what you're doing because you're too good luck. Okay, now the year of the rat, 1960, 72, 48, 36, 24. See, remember, we said October, the other animal go up the top curve. The rat do not get that high. But do not get that low either. So immediate. But still the same tendency of the curve. See, my daughter born in 1960, I know. And she's a doctor. A lot of things she wants to do, but still sometimes it's good luck. Now the wood red. The wood red is among the other red with a better luck. But still, I see there's bad luck. Okay? Easy to get sick. The water red have extra romance, and this romance is not necessarily good for you. That causes trouble. Okay? And a lot of fluctuations. The health is not very good. The metal red, normal. But financial distribution or handle money are a problem. The earth red also up and down. Sometimes turn around, you think it's something good, then suddenly it's become bad. That kind of unexpected situation. The fire red, little bit better. Whether your money, career, or go out for touring, this is also good for take a trip abroad. But don't forget now, when you get high, the upper top of the curve, September, but not is only above average. But the bad month is the June, May and November. Now other people have good Thanksgiving. The red is not. Then November come down. So I'm sorry, there's not much you can do. Now then the year of the ox, or the cow, good year. 7% good, 30% not so good. But if you're careful, it's okay. The wood cattle or wood cow this year easily gets sick, but in general, good year. The water cow, you have to be careful now. Be careful not to get into law problem of water cow. The metal cow is husband, wife, or boy and girlfriend may be easily get argued, and the health problem. The earth cow, again, is the marriage problem. If you have business, you easily get trouble with the client. The fire cow, your career, your job may be subject to a certain amount of obstacles or bad luck. So financial problem. And also husband and wife maybe get friction. Now the year of tiger is very good. It's the best among all the animals. Tiger is the best. Money-wise, career-wise, human relations, all good. I don't have to tell you which one, water or wood. Everything, five elements. Tiger, good. It's so good, just be careful for health. Some of young people get married this year. Or you're not married this year, you will find out your girlfriend or boyfriend. Or we will find out another man or something like that. This is a very good year. Like, but the peak still June come down. Okay? And then October, November comes up. December comes similar. The other energy. Okay? The turtle. This year of turtle better than last year. The up and down still there. But this year financially, money-wise, are better than last year. But they would not come early. March will come. The first after March. The second one, October. But the lower curve, June, still in June and December. Now the wood turtle average. And if you are careful, then everything all right. The water turtle should go out for tourism, go abroad. The metal turtle, money-wise, not so good. But not considered bad. The metal turtle again have romance. But this romance is good for you, not like the other. The earth turtle, everything okay, except because so good that you have to take care of your health. The fire turtle, little bit sick, because so good you might get sick. It's definitely get sick. Okay, now another is a dragon. Now dragon is not very good, but it's a half, little bit, then not that bad, only below average. You know the dragon, understand the dragon is very good charisma, charisma, and mysterious, and difficult to anticipate with personality or personality. Good management, very thorough. And some people, sometimes it's very suspicious type of people now. The curve of the dragon is very slow, very slow, very slow. You can see the curve. Like a cosine curve, very slow. So in other words, go up, going down slowly. Now that's why the dragon are not so good, because the year the horse goes so fast, the dragon is so slow and become very, very impatient. And sometimes you want to get all the pace of the horse, get fast, and dragon do not get anything. Work for nothing. The horse, toy, sweating, and riding, nothing. See? Now, especially fire dragon, which 1976, 1916. These dragons are the worst. But the other ones are pretty good, except also the dragon have a tendency to get sick. Now get sick, especially your teeth. You have to still attention. Now I do not go for all the dragons because I said only the fire dragon are bad luck. The other all good luck, except take care of your teeth. Now, the year of the snake, which is the snake, there's good luck, yes, but still a lot of fluctuation. But every good. Now this curve of the snake almost the same as horse. Up or sharp, from down or up, sharp. The snake practically everyone is good. Good health, not easily get sick. Only the earth snake easy to get hurt. Maybe fall down or cut your fingers and kind of thing. But every snake is a good year. So this all, any animal I miss. Rabbit, which rabbit? Rabbit. What kind of rabbit? Water rabbit. Now, if I miss the rabbit, in 1987, 1975, 1963, 1951, 1939, 1947, 1915, if I miss the rabbit, let me go again. Rabbit is a good year. Better than last year. Now the water rabbit is average. The wood rabbit also good. The metal rabbit, again, have romance. The metal have romance. The earth rabbit, good. The fire rabbit, good. The fire rabbit should go out more across.
And our family took a trip to China in September of this year. We had 5 people in all who went, and kind of debated on whether or not we should go because of all the trouble at Tiananmen Square. But after all, we decided to go and had a very good trip. But I'd just like to give you my impressions of our trip from the perspective of someone who had never traveled to China before. The first impression that I got that it's really far away. When you're sitting in the airplane for 13 hours, you just can't believe how far away it can be. But as soon as you get off the plane and drive into the city, you realize how many people there are in China. A lot of people. We went to Guangzhou first, and then we traveled up to Beijing, and then some of the other cities on the eastern part of China. But you're just impressed by the sheer numbers of people. If you've ever been to New York City in the rush hour, that's what it looks like. Because the cities in China are very modern. If you look at it, it just looks like the skyscrapers and the tall apartment buildings, and just the same as a lot of American cities, except most of the people are Chinese. That makes a lot of sense. The one thing that you don't see is a lot of private houses. In the city, the people usually live in the big apartment buildings. But if you go out to the countryside, to the farm areas, then you have more of the individual houses. Also, in the city, not only do you see a lot of people walking, but you see a lot of people just packed into the buses. And you also see a lot of people riding bicycles. And I'm not sure what the statistics are, but it seems like there must be one bicycle for every man, woman, and child. And that's the major means of transportation. As tourists, we rode the taxi cab a lot, and then we were also we had joined a tour group, and they have like a little minibus where you have 9 or 10 or 15 people in the little minibus, and that's how we got around when we were with the tour group. But we also had the opportunity to have 1 week on our own without the tour group, and then we took the taxi cab quite a bit. You probably are thinking, well, if you went to China so soon after the Tiananmen Square, and you know they had martial law at that time, and what did you see when you were there? Well, we saw some soldiers at Tiananmen Square, but maybe only about 8 soldiers. And then the bridges going into the main city of Beijing, they had the soldiers posted on the bridges. I assume those are very strategic areas for the military to control. And the soldiers just stood at attention and they had their rifle in their hands. But we didn't hear about anybody having any trouble with the soldiers, and we didn't hear about any trouble that happened in the city when we were there. And that was only in Beijing. In the other cities, we didn't see any soldiers at all. All the businesses, all the restaurants, the stores, most of them are owned by the government, and the people who work in the stores are government workers. So if you go in a restaurant, then you don't call the waiter or waitress. They're the comrade, they're the government worker. And so they have government office hours. Most of the restaurants closed at 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and only in the foreign tourist have enough customers to make a good business. But in the cities we went to in China, it looks like they all closed up at 5 o'clock, just like punching the clock in the factory. The very good thing we saw that China did not have any homeless people. You didn't see any street people. Everybody has a job. Everybody has a place to live. And even though they don't make a lot of money every month, their apartment only costs about $6 Chinese money. Also, the health care is free. Even the prescription, if you have to buy an aspirin, it's all free. And we had the opportunity to visit the PUMC, which is the Peking Union Medical College. And the PUMC, they had a foreigners clinic, and then they had the rest of the people's clinic. And we went to the foreigners clinic, and you have the opportunity to have a diagnosis and treatment both by a Western trained doctor and by a Chinese traditional medicine doctor. And I guess it used to be that they didn't tolerate each other very well, but now it looks like they cooperate and they don't have a lot of conflict. So you can go to see 2 different kinds of doctors on the same day. One thing that China is famous for, and every time you see a travel log or a movie about China, you see the people doing Tai Chi, doing martial arts in the park. And that's true, but you have to get up very early. They're all done by 7 or 7:30. So we saw some of them, but the funny thing, we thought everybody would be doing Tai Chi, but a lot of people were doing the Qigong exercises. And I think later on in this program, we're going to demonstrate the Tai Chi and some other Kung Fu exercise and the Qigong so you can see. But the very funny thing is that they had people doing the jitterbug in the park for their exercise. A great big group of people, and they had some kind of music, and they were practicing jitterbug and ballroom dancing, and that we didn't expect at all. Some of the things we did also were to visit the tourist attractions, which of course everybody does when they travel to a new place. So we saw the Forbidden City and the Summer Palace where the emperors in China used to live. And we saw in some of the other cities like Hangzhou and Suzhou and Wuxi, we saw the very beautiful gardens. And all the gardens were characterized by, they had to have water. They had to have some kind of a pond or stream or brook, and the goldfish, the big red carp fish in the pond. And they have different paths, very winding paths that you can walk through and enjoy the scenery. A lot of trees, a lot of stone kind of rock sculptures, and most importantly, the pavilions. The pavilions were just structures that people could sit in and enjoy the beautiful view. But all these things, the gardens and the Forbidden City and the Summer Palace, used to be owned by the emperor or used to be owned by the rich people. Now they opened it up to all the people. Everybody can go into the garden and enjoy it. So that's one of the very nice things about living in the city, where it's so busy and not very much green things. Then you can enjoy yourself in the garden. The last thing I want to tell you is one of my favorite things was visiting the Buddhist temples. And I'm not sure how much religion is practiced in China today, but they still have active monasteries and with the monks. But you can also go in to visit and look around in the monastery. It's another very special, quiet place. You can be walking down a very statues of Buddha that we saw there was a 6-foot-high, carved out of one block of jade, the precious stone jade, 6-foot-high, seated Buddha, and that was in Shanghai. And that was very remarkable. In conclusion, basically our whole trip was very remarkable, and I really appreciated the opportunity to go since I'm so involved with the Chinese culture and have been involved with this club for a long time. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me now. And I would like to say that if anyone is thinking about traveling to China, I recommend it very highly. Any questions?
Now it's my turn. The impression of China from the Chinese standpoint. Now, I came to this country in 1947 on a Chinese government scholarship in agriculture by the Chiang Kai-shek's government, Kuomintang government. I've been here, this going to 43rd year. More than 30-some years, I didn't go back home. But suddenly, my son and my daughter and my wife happened to get together several weeks vacation. If we did not go, then maybe I would have went. So we make up the mind. But we want to check the State Department. They said, well, you want to go on your own, just like in Lebanon. So some of the friends said, oh, you better go to Taiwan or go to Singapore. I said, no. So we checked the agency, the Chinese government, tourist agency. They said the Chinese-speaking tour is still going on, but the English-speaking tour is canceled. A lot of American and some other English-speaking nations, they did not want to go there, afraid to get trapped in the war over there. But then I find out if the Chinese government agency want to guide the tour, so anything happens, they're going to have to help us out. So I said, okay, let's go. It's important. I want my son, my daughter, and my wife to see the place I was born. That's an important part, because otherwise they did not know their father, where it comes from, what kind of country is that. So we went there. So we joined the tourist group. This tourist group from Hong Kong go to Guilin, and then go to Peking, and then go to Hangzhou, and from Hangzhou to Shanghai to Suzhou, and so go back to Nanjing. Now, but we did not go to Guilin because I was born in Canton. I want my family to see the Canton where I was born. So we told the tourist group, we do not want to join the Guilin, we're going to stay in Canton 3 days. The interesting part of the Cantonese is that if you familiar with Chinese, you know the Cantonese food are one of the best cooking in China and Sichuan. So you know what we ate? Snake dinner. Because my daughter can see. Now she's a doctor, she's an ophthalmologist, she's now a resident of the university hospital. And she heard, when she was a little girl, she heard me say, oh, how they get the snake in front of you and get it all bread and squeeze it into the wine and drink it. And she said, when I grow up, I got to taste it. So I said, all right. But the other member of the group is, I don't think I like it. But we did anyway. It's delicious. If you go to Canton, make sure you order the snake dinner. That's only 2 or 3 cooking. Otherwise, the other restaurants do not have that kind of menu. Now, in Canton, we did go back to my birthplace. I only recognize one street, the old name. They all changed our name. And our own home all completely rebuilt the big apartment house, and many families lived there. So I just told my family, it's roughly around this area, all home. And I still remember I saw some of our old neighbors. See, they did not leave China. One, Communist Party came into the city. As long as you stay in the city, stay in your home, they don't bother you. Okay? But later on, if your home have to repair, you have to do it. See, the government not going to take care. But the property is the government property. Okay? We stayed 3 days in Canton. We get around very well to see the scenic place and the Buddha temple and so forth. The interesting is this. More than 2 million people in the city. The telephone only that big. Now how in the world you can telephone people only that amount of number? You cannot reach individual. You have to go to a police station, sub-station, and they get the extension to that person. And sometimes I have a half sister who's a doctor. I want to talk to her. But this man who took over my extension, he said, "What kind of language you're talking about?" I said, "I was born here, Cantonese." But he did not speak Cantonese. He speaks the Chaozhou, which is the northeastern part of China. We cannot communicate with each other. Bang, put the phone, so I cannot even talk. But one thing, I left China so many years. I have to be fair. When I was there under Chiang Kai-shek's time, not beggars, homeless people, sick people. Now there's none. No homeless, no sick people. Used to be the beggar, the children beggar ask for money. Not anymore. This is quite a difference. Then you say, now how in the world the Chinese people cannot turn into democracy? Can you have us to respect the children's voice, please? This has to be answered this way. In Oriental country, not easy to have a democracy like America. Let me give you an example. Philippines, the president or the high officers graduate from American universities. And under American control many, many years, they still cannot exercise democracy. You knew that Marcos became dictator for 25 years, hoard up all the money, and Mrs. Marcos had 4,000 pair of shoes. Now what kind of democracy? But these people educated in America. How come they cannot be democracy? How can you expect China to be democracy? Several thousand years, China have been under the emperor, feudal system. Were some of the emperor were cruel. Little bit you make mistake or against the law, they arrest the whole family. Everybody's scared. Because they're scared, become obedient. Become obedient, not easy to stand up to fight the government. This little bit, not enough guts, and this the weakness, including myself. Because in China, when I was there, I cannot openly talk about something against the government. So nowadays, they don't talk about government, similar to what we did with. No different. Under Chiang Kai-shek or under Mao Zedong, same thing. See? Now you talk about Panama, under American treaty for so many years, they cannot have democracy either. Now you say, what about Japan? Japan do not have democracy either. For example, in their textbook, they never mention about invasion of China or Pearl Harbor. What kind of democracy? They still cover up the news. You see, they're still under the emperor system. So these are the things in Oriental country. Not easy. Hopefully the younger generation, like my two guests here, Mr. Sun and Mr. Singh, they come from mainland China. These are the younger group people. Maybe one day they learn from American democracy and their own. Now, China professors do very good. The universities do very good. Like Sandy just mentioned, the PUMC, Peking Union Medical School. It was founded by Rockefeller Foundation. It was, still is, the best medical school and hospital in the Far East. But the only difference now is you have co-diagnosis by a traditional herbal medicine doctor and a Western trained medical doctor. The whole world does not have this kind of system. But very, very interesting to notice how strong David Rockefeller demanded from the Peking government. And he said, do you still want my money or not to support the college and the hospital? Gordon says, sure, you're Rockefeller. But he said, if you want me to continue to support you, then you have to follow the American medical school system. You cannot change it. I said, okay. So the only college, medical college in China is a PUMC, still same thing like Harvard, using Harvard as a standard. 8 years training, and then 4-year internship, 12 years, same thing like Ohio State. But the other medical school only 6 years, Chinese system. Now, sadly, see, have a little bit of arthritis in America, the doctor couldn't do anything. That's why we went back to PK on our own. I never seen a modern trained doctor so thorough and so detailed diagnosis setting. I mean the Western trained doctor. He's right now in Columbia University, Dr. John. He's 78 years old. We got OPUMC. He's a world famous doctor in arthritis. And Columbia University wanted him to do 1 year research and then go to Minnesota Mayo Clinic and now 2 years. And he said, well, he's laughing, joking, he speaks English. He said, one more day, if you just come tomorrow, you have to go to New York to see me because he's coming. So, but these men are so thorough, ask so many questions, listen. I never seen it. I didn't go to see a doctor very often. I came to America 40-some years, only visit a doctor 3 times. So, but I still did not see the doctor so thorough to examine the patient. Now, the Chinese doctor, traditional doctor, the woman, also very good. Now, when we bought the Chinese herbal medicine come back, it worked quite well. So if you have something like that, I suggest you go to China. Now, then another thing, the comparison is that when I was a little boy in China, the farmers were very good. Even the Chinese New Year, they can't even afford to have a New Year. See, I did not call them farmer. Actually, I should call them peasant. But now, they earn more money, they live in a good house, they can build a house on the ground, lease from the government. I understood from the people who told me the people working on the farm are much better off than the people working for the government. They have the whole house for themselves. See? Why was that? Because 2 incomes. One is China had large and small industry in the rural district. See, like chemical industry, or silk industry, or tea industry in the rural, in the farming area. So all the farmers are part-time working there. They have that income. Then they still have this private proper land they can cultivate themselves. You see? Now, the thing is, the food is a very low price. In other words, even though they do not make a whole lot of money, but $6 for the apartment whole month, and then the food distributed very, very low price. But one thing, they do not have too much refrigeration. As a result, the fruits and vegetables become wilt or dry out. So these private farmers, they have their plantation. They sell the fresh vegetables, fresh food. That's why they make that kind of money. So you have to understand, everybody works for the government. Their scale of salary are almost the same. But since they have an extra job, and also have a nice place to live, they can build their house. So I was very surprised to see that, because when I was in China, the farmers are crucified me, big time. But now they're much better off. Secondly, the herbal medicine doctors are much better off. When I was there, see, like Jen Guy said, Madam Jen Guy said, brother, they are Harvard graduates. They are modernized Chinese. They suppress the Chinese medicine. They said they are superstitious. They're not unfounded scientifically. But now, because they take up the old secret formula, see, all the so-called family secret don't open up, put you in jail. So that's why now they so-called private recipe or formula. For example, like acupuncture. 10 days, the woman, 10 days, 3 puncture. 30 days, 9 puncture. That woman had 1.5 years do not have birth control, don't have to take pills. This is right. Originally, you cannot learn this kind of thing. Now, so your family open up, and you don't have to take pills and get nausea or headache. Just 3 puncture every 10 days. For 9 puncture, you have 1 to 2 years birth control. Used to be not able to do it now, they open up. And number 3, the martial art people. Now, my family, we have the record more than 2,000 years, chase back to ancient times. And our friends, many generations were generals. See, they are good in martial art, and then, of course, even in general, they are family-oriented. See, the colonel, the captain under them, they still are good martial art artists, and they have to train the children of the general. That's why hand down to our generation, we learn a lot. Plus the fact that when I was in high school, junior high school, college, martial art is considered as physical education course. So that's why we learn a lot. Now, used to be in southern China, where I was born, martial art is considered low-class people. When you do martial art, you don't even want people to know about it. But now we have a big organization. Try to go in a small village to dig up the sacred way of the old master, how they teach the students, even form. Now you have to understand that 400 some different style of Chinese food. Now they keep on publishing. People spend day and night to talk to the master, afraid he might die soon. So we have to take video tape. So now this is another thing different from when I was there. The education is free. In other words, when I was there, if you become a farmer, a peasant, children, no way, you might as well become slave all your life. Now, if they just have a brain, they can all the way to be a doctor, dentist, or lawyer, or engineer. Again, it's quite improved. Now, many things that different from when I was. I cannot even recognize Canton, the city of Canton, make a lot of because it's too crowded, they have to be overhead and car that go up so that people can walk under. When I was there, I didn't see those things. In Nanking, the big hotel is now the former American embassy. They're using that as office and building our building. The food is good. Now, I can tell you a very interesting story. President Nixon went to China. Happened to be that for the Great Wall restaurant in Peking. So I find out Nixon entertained the Chinese officers in this Chinese restaurant. I asked the waiter and the manager, I said, what kind of food Mr. Nixon entertained the Chinese officers? Can you guess? Can you guess? Not snake.
Hamburgers.
Turkey. He brought the turkey all the way from the White House, including the cook, the chef. Only the Great Wall restaurant, the chef, the Great Wall have, just like a doctor, I want a repeat position, give it to him, that's because they know the place. Now, because those people are waiting table, the girls and so forth, I said, did the Chinese officer interested in eating turkey or not? Not much. I like myself, I've been 40 some years. I'm sorry to tell you, I don't enjoy turkey. Too dry. You see, now maybe one day I can do it. But anyway, how Mr. Nixon, and he said, people said Mr. Nixon joking around, not Nixon, Reagan, joking around all the time. But the Chinese officer understand his joke or not? They said, oh, I doubt very much. They're just laughing, but they didn't know what he's talking about. This again is very interesting. that when I go back home and then I find out a lot of things going on. The elderly are very well protected. They have government nursing home and nurse. And they use Qigong and some other exercise to help them regain their health so that they can be very comfortable in the last part of their life. This I did not find very reconciled. So, but I find out they do not make very much money. See, for example, we visit the silk factory in Hangzhou. They go outside and big billboards say they make $2,300 a year Chinese currency. I said, what's the big deal? Why have the profits outside? You went to some other place, they never talk about how much money they make. Why this factory purposely raised this question? I asked the guy. They said before we do not know exactly how much money we make a year. We have to know how much money at the end of the year we know. But now we definitely know we do have $2,300. Now, exactly how much the $2,300 can be worth. Not enough for a good refrigerator amount. So that means they do not make money. But the other expenses are very low. As long as they are not really demand too much, they need comfort. And also the children have good school, good teacher. Never seen any young people have drug problem. See, or fighting on the street, or messing up the street, or beat up the teacher. So you see, some system, they do have some kind of discipline, like the Chinese communists. But I talked to some people. I said, Japan lost the Second World War. They were victimized by the atomic bomb. But after 25 years, I told the people over in tourist parks, they become the #1 country control the electronic industry. 10 big American banks bought over by Japanese Ford. Now the Rockefeller Mansion building and the big movie theater, movie company. Now why the Japanese can so fast? They suffered from the atomic bomb. For 25 years, they make America very nervous about the car production in Detroit. How come the Chinese so slow? They did make progress, but very slow. Now here's the answer. Too big population. Education them very rapidly. After I came back, I think like it's not easy for them to vote. They don't even know sometimes what the vote means. They might say somebody will say, hey, I give you $10, you give me my vote, I write my name. You can do that. Same thing like Philippines. So that kind of democracy is not easy to be exercised in the Chinese situation because the education system. Because don't forget, China is bigger than America. Let's say we do from San Francisco to go to New York, we take a train, it's about 3 days, 4 nights. But in China, same speed of the train, 1 week. That much bigger than us. So you see that highly popular human being. Like when you 5 o'clock, the school's over and the factory over, they cannot move. They're all bicycles beside you. You cannot move. So you see that many people, and you want them to right away understand democracy. Very difficult. Now one more last word thing because you know. How many people get killed in Tiananmen Square democracy demonstration? Now I really want to find out. But of course a lot of people don't want to talk about it. The only people I can talk is the taxi cab driver. And after a few days ago, we hang on one taxi cab driver. I went out to eat with him, and so that we can keep on going more places. And finally, he told me, he said, yeah, there are some, but not several thousand people. As far as he knows. But we cannot just trust one people's talk. So I can tell you, I don't understand. See, in American television, it's thousands. But over there, the people seems to be, they don't even know what's going on. Maybe they didn't want to talk to me. I cannot really find out what's going on. But the so-called martial law, we did see the soldiers walking around. You cannot come down from the bus and walk around Tiananmen Square. You cannot. You cannot take pictures. We only can take pictures from the bus. Okay? And these are the things that, as the Chinese go home and see these people. But the only thing I'm sorry to say, why China developed so slow. We've been bad that how come Japanese can speak up so fast. See, I do not have all the answers. It's that the people, the Chinese students, see, everywhere in America and Europe, they always very high grade. See, scholarship, PhD degree all over. How come they cannot compete with Japanese to produce more scientific? And they won the Second World War. China won the Second World War. I cannot answer it. Maybe one day we can find out. Thank you.